My beloved child, listen to me now. You have carried the weight of many years, and though your body may feel slower and your days quieter, your heart still cries out for connection. I hear that cry. I see the silent tears that no one else notices. You may have convinced yourself that you are invisible, that the world has moved on without you, but I tell you this truth. You are not alone. You have never been alone. My presence has surrounded you from your first breath, and it will remain with you until the final moment when you step into my eternal embrace. There are times when loneliness feels like a cold wind pressing against your spirit, whispering that you are forgotten, that no one cares, that your story has reached its end. But child, those whispers are lies. The enemy delights in isolating my children, making them believe they are abandoned. Yet my word stands unshaken. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Do you believe this? Even in your quiet room, even when the phone does not ring, even when your friends are gone and the house feels too still, I am nearer than your breath. Think back over your life, the days of youth, the seasons of work, the raising of family, the friendships that filled your heart. Through each chapter, I was there, even when you did not notice. In your laughter, I rejoiced. In your pain, I wept with you. In your mistakes, I covered you with mercy. And now, as you sit in the later years, I am still here, faithful and unchanging. Age does not weaken my presence. Time does not dim my love. I know that loss has touched you. Perhaps you have buried loved ones. Perhaps friends no longer sit across the table as they once did. Perhaps your children are grown and busy, their lives full of responsibilities that keep them away. You may feel the ache of absence more than the joy of presence. But hear me. Though others may come and go, I remain constant. My arms are always outstretched, not in judgment, but in welcome. You do not have to earn my nearness. You only have to open your heart, and you will sense me right there, steady and sure. Do not let shame or regret build walls between us. Some of you feel unworthy of my closeness because of the choices you made long ago. You look back and see mistakes, missed opportunities, words you wish you could take back, paths you wish you had not walked. Yet I tell you, none of these disqualify you from my love. My son's sacrifice has already torn down every barrier. You are covered, forgiven, redeemed. You are not disqualified. You are chosen. I do not dwell on your past failures, so why should you? Loneliness often grows heavier when you believe that no one understands. But I do. I understand the ache of an empty chair at the dinner table. I understand the sting of being overlooked, the quiet of evenings when no one calls, the longing for a familiar voice. I understand because I bore the loneliness of the cross. I was forsaken by those I loved, abandoned by friends who once swore their loyalty. I entered into the deepest isolation, so that when you feel alone, you may know I have already walked that path, and because I walked it, I can meet you there with compassion that is not distant, but deeply personal.
Child, I created you for connection. Do not believe that you must endure in silence. You were designed to love and be loved. When pain from the past tempts you to guard your heart too tightly, remember that my presence is safe. There is no rejection in me. There is no abandonment. I am steadfast, patient, and gentle. I wait with joy to fill your empty places, to sit with you in the silence, to turn that silence into holy stillness where you can sense my heartbeat. I want you to know this. Your later years are not wasted years. You are not sitting on a shelf, forgotten and unused. You still carry wisdom, testimony, and prayers that shape eternity. When you whisper a prayer in the quiet of your home, heaven bends to listen. When you share even a small kindness with a neighbor, you reflect my love in ways you may never see. Do not measure your worth by what the world counts as productivity. I measure your worth by the love I poured into you and the love you released to others. I am asking you now to let me walk with you more closely than ever. Talk to me as you rise in the morning. Share with me your aches, your joys, your memories. Invite me into the loneliness before it hardens into despair. I am not impatient with your questions, nor am I weary of your repeated cries. I treasure every word you speak to me. Even when you cannot find the words, your sighs are prayers, and I receive them with tenderness. My mercies are renewed every morning. Every sunrise declares that I have given you a new day to experience my love afresh. My faithfulness is not tied to your moods or abilities. Whether you feel strong or frail, hopeful or discouraged, my presence does not waver. I am steady when everything else shifts. I am faithful when all else fails. So, child, when you feel the chill of loneliness pressing in, remember this truth. You are surrounded by me. I am the warmth in the cold night, the light in your dim room, the song in the silence. I am the friend who never leaves, the father who never forgets, the shepherd who never abandons his sheep. Rest in me. Lean into me. Let your heart breathe again, for you are held, seen, and cherished. My precious child, I know the sting of rejection has marked your journey. At times, people you trusted walked away. Words spoken in anger may still echo in your memory. Friendships once dear may have faded with time. Even those you poured yourself out for may have failed to love you in return. These wounds are real, and I do not dismiss them. I gather every tear you have shed, and I carry the weight of every sorrow you have borne. But I need you to hear me clearly. My love does not carry rejection. My love is not like human love that falters or fades. My love does not grow tired, does not change its mind, does not depend on how you perform. My love is covenant love, unbreakable, steady, eternal. From the beginning of time, I chose you. Long before you took your first breath, I saw you and desired you. My son gave his life not reluctantly, but joyfully, because your soul was worth every drop of his blood. When you wonder whether you are still wanted, remember the cross. That was my declaration that I would never turn my face from you. I know you have guarded your heart because of past hurts. Some of you have closed doors within your spirit, fearing that if you let love in again, you will only be disappointed. But child, with me, there is no risk. I do not abandon. I do not betray. I do not grow cold. My love is safe. You can lean into it fully without fear of rejection. Think of the relationships you have walked through over the years. Parents may have failed to show you tenderness. Spouses may not have fulfilled their vows. Children may have drifted, forgetting the sacrifices you made. Friends may have disappeared when you needed them most. And with each loss, a part of your heart may have whispered, I must not be lovable. I must not be enough. But that whisper is not truth. That whisper is a wound speaking. I tell you today, you are enough because I made you enough. You are beloved not because of what you accomplished, but because you are mine. My affection is not based on your usefulness, but on my own nature, which is love itself.
Do you see the flowers that bloom even when no one walks past to admire them? Do you hear the birds sing even when no ear listens to their song? They do these things simply because I willed them to live and to flourish. And you, my child, are infinitely more precious than they. Your worth is not diminished by who notices you, who thanks you, or who remembers you. Your worth is sealed in me. Perhaps you carry the fear of rejection even from me. Perhaps you wonder if you have failed too many times, strayed too far, or doubted too often. You may feel unworthy to draw near, afraid that I will push you away. But listen closely. I will never reject the one who comes to me. Your sins do not frighten me away. They are the very reason I came near. Your weakness does not repel me. It draws my compassion. Your questions do not offend me. They invite my answers. I am not ashamed of you. Do you hear that? I am not ashamed of you. The mistakes you regret, the moments you replay in your mind, the words you wish you could erase, I have already washed them in the blood of my Son. They do not define you. You are not the sum of your failures. You are the treasure I purchased at the highest cost. So stop hiding your heart from me. Let me love you where it hurts most. Let me step into the corners of your soul where you fear rejection. There is no corner too dark for my light, no wound too deep for my healing, no failure too great for my mercy. I am not a distant God waiting for you to prove yourself. I am a Father running toward you, arms open wide, declaring, "You are mine," and nothing can change that. Remember how my Son embraced the outcasts, the broken, the rejected? He touched lepers no one else would touch. He sat with sinners others despised. He called fishermen and tax collectors into friendship. He welcomed children the world overlooked. Why? Because my love delights in the ones others push aside. And child, my love delights in you. You do not have to strive to earn my acceptance. You already have it. You do not have to perform to keep my approval. You already carry it. My love is not a fragile flame that flickers with every mistake. It is an eternal fire that nothing can extinguish. Let go, then, of the voice that tells you to brace for rejection. That voice has kept you bound in fear and loneliness. Instead, rest in my assurance. When others fail you, I will not. When others leave you, I will stay. When others forget you, I will remember you forever. Even in this season of life, when you may feel less seen by the world, know this. I see you fully. I see your hidden sacrifices, the prayers no one else hears, the faith you have held on to through storms. I see the resilience, the courage, the quiet endurance. And I say to you, well done, beloved, well done. Do not measure love by how people have treated you. Look to me. My love is perfect, constant, and forever yours, and I am teaching you to let that love flow through you to others, not with fear of rejection, but with freedom. Because when you know you are secure in my embrace, you no longer need to guard yourself so tightly. You can open your heart and let kindness flow. I tell you the truth, nothing in all creation can separate you from my love. Not death, not life, not angels, not demons, not the past, not the future, not fears or regrets, not powers or circumstances. Nothing can sever what I have bound. You are held, always and forever. My beloved child, I see the battles you carry within yourself, the struggles you have tried to hide, the weaknesses you wish were not there, the regrets that whisper in the quiet of night. Some of you have fought the same burdens for years and wonder if I grow weary of you. Some of you feel ashamed that your faith wavers, that your strength falters, that your mind is sometimes clouded by doubt or discouragement. But hear me clearly. Your struggles do not repel me. They do not push me away. They draw me near. When you stumble, I do not turn my back. When you fail, I do not step aside in disgust. I lean closer. I reach deeper. I extend more grace. Do not measure my heart by the reactions of people around you. Humans grow impatient. They judge. They withdraw. They condemn. But I am not like man. My patience is without end, and my compassion is deeper than the ocean. Child, I know your frame. I know you are dust. I know the frailty of your body and the weakness of your heart. I am not surprised when you fall short. I am not caught off guard by your imperfections. Before you lived a single day, I already saw every moment of doubt, every wrong choice, every time you would slip. And still, I chose you. Still, I loved you. Still, I called you mine. You often hide your struggles as though I cannot see them. But why hide from the one who already knows? I do not despise your weaknesses. Instead, I long for you to bring them to me, so that I may cover them with mercy and turn them into places of strength. Do you not remember? My power is made perfect in weakness. It is in your frailty that my glory shines brightest. I see the heaviness of guilt some of you still carry. You replay mistakes from decades ago, as though they happened yesterday. Words spoken in anger, opportunities wasted, seasons where faith grew cold. You whisper to yourself that perhaps you disappointed me beyond repair. But child, my forgiveness is not fragile. It does not expire. What I have forgiven, I have forgotten. The blood of my Son did not cover some sins. It covered them all. Stop rehearsing the past as if it still has power over you. The enemy delights in dragging up old failures, binding you with shame. But I tell you today, those chains are broken. You are not defined by your worst moments. You are defined by my love. Others among you struggle with fears and anxieties. Perhaps your body grows weaker and you worry about what lies ahead. Perhaps you fear being a burden. Perhaps you fear the loneliness of tomorrow. These are heavy weights, but do not think they chase me away. Instead, they call forth my comfort. I am the shepherd who walks you through the valley of the shadow. I do not leave you trembling in the dark. I walk beside you, holding you steady. Some of you wrestle with bitterness, disappointment that life did not unfold as you hoped, that people failed you, that prayers seemed unanswered. You may feel guilty for the resentment that clings to your heart. But child, even this does not repel me. I would rather you bring your bitterness to me than bury it in silence. I can handle your anger. I can hold your grief. I can transform even the hardest places into gardens of peace. You think your struggles disqualify you from being useful in my kingdom? But I tell you, they do not. Your scars, your failures, your battles, these are not disqualifications. They are testimonies. The very places you feel most weak are the places where my light can shine through you most clearly. When others see your endurance, your continued faith despite hardship, they see me. When you testify of my grace that held you up in the darkest times, they hear hope. Do not believe the lie that I only draw close to the strong, the cheerful, the victorious. I am the God who bends down to the broken. I am the healer who touches wounds. I am the shepherd who goes after the lost sheep, not the ones who never wander. My heart beats with compassion for those who struggle. That is why I sent my Son, not for the healthy, but for the sick. Not for the righteous, but for sinners. Your tears are precious to me. Your sighs are prayers I answer. Your weakness is the very doorway for my strength. Do not despise yourself for struggling. Instead, lean into me. Rest in me. Trust that I am not going anywhere. And child, let me remind you of this. I am not keeping a record of how many times you have fallen. I am keeping record of how many times my mercy has lifted you. The story of your life is not the story of your failures. It is the story of my faithfulness. In your later years, when your body does not do what it once could, you may feel frustrated, but know this: your worth to me does not come from what you can accomplish. Your worth is in who you are, my beloved. Even in frailty, you are precious. Even in limitation, you are valuable. Even in decline, you are mine. So stop fearing that your struggles make you less lovable. They do not. In fact, they draw my tenderness closer. Like a parent bending to a child who has stumbled, I stoop to lift you. Like a shepherd binding the wounds of a lamb, I tend to your pain. Like a friend sitting quietly beside you, I share in your burdens. My child, never again believe that you must be perfect to remain in my embrace. My arms are wide open, not because of what you have done, but because of who I am. I am love, and love does not abandon. Love does not reject. Love does not run from weakness, it runs toward it. Therefore, take heart. Your struggles are not the end of the story. They are the soil from which my glory will grow. Lay them at my feet, again and again if you must. I will not grow weary. I will not turn you away. My compassion is like a river that never dries up, always flowing, always cleansing, always renewing. My beloved child, I want you to lift your eyes now and see beyond the weariness of the present moment. For I have not only promised to walk with you through struggles, I have promised you a future, a hope, and a joy that will never fade. Your story is not winding down into emptiness. It is flowing into fullness. Like a river that never runs dry, my mercy and hope are always moving, always renewing, always carrying you toward greater peace. You may feel at times that your best days are behind you. Memories of youthful strength, of busy homes, of laughter-filled gatherings may cause you to think the sweetest seasons are gone. But child, I tell you the truth. My goodness is not trapped in your past. My goodness is with you today, and my goodness is waiting for you tomorrow. Even in your later years, I am pouring out new mercies every morning, gifts you have not yet unwrapped. Think of a river. It does not grow stagnant unless it is cut off from its source. It flows, steady and strong, because it is fed from a spring that never runs out. So it is with you. Your life in me is not stagnant. It is not drying up. It is being fed by my eternal spirit. I am the spring, and I will never fail. Perhaps you look at your body and see decline. Perhaps you look at the world around you and see darkness and uncertainty. Perhaps you look at the years ahead and feel fear instead of joy. But hope is not anchored in circumstances. It is anchored in me. And I do not change. Though outwardly you may feel frail, inwardly I am renewing you day by day. Though the world shakes, my kingdom remains unshaken. Though death itself draws near, eternal life waits beyond it with arms wide open. Do not let despair tell you that your time of purpose is finished. I am still writing through you. Every prayer you whisper matters. Every kindness you extend ripples into eternity. Every testimony you share with a younger heart is a seed planted that I will water. The river of hope flowing through you is not only for your comfort, it is for the blessing of others. Even in what the world calls your twilight years, you carry a light that others desperately need. My child, some of you have been tempted to give up, to sink into discouragement, to let sadness steal your joy. But I am calling you to lift your eyes higher. The hope I give is not fragile. It is not wishful thinking. It is not rooted in whether tomorrow brings ease or hardship. It is anchored in eternity, in the unshakable truth that I have prepared a place for you and that I will come again to receive you to myself. When you step into my presence at last, every sorrow will vanish. Every tear you have cried will be wiped from your eyes. Every ache in your body, every fear in your mind, every loneliness in your heart will dissolve into the fullness of joy. That is your destiny. That is your inheritance. That is your unshakable hope. But even now, before that day comes, I invite you to drink from the river of my spirit. Let my word refresh you. Let my presence comfort you. Let my promises steady you. The river is not something you must wait for in eternity. It flows to you even now. Do you feel weary? Step into the current. Do you feel empty? Let my waters fill you. Do you feel forgotten? Let the river remind you that you are continually renewed. Do not despise the small joys I still place in your path. The warmth of sunlight, the sound of a bird, the smile of a stranger, the laughter of a child. These are drops from the river meant to remind you that I am here, that I am still giving, still blessing, still pouring out beauty in your days. Child, I know you carry questions about the future. You may wonder how many days remain, what trials lie ahead, how your story will end. But I tell you this, your ending is already secured in me. Death is not the end, it is a doorway. On the other side is a home prepared, a feast awaiting, a reunion with those who have gone before, and most of all, my face shining upon you in glory. So walk with courage. Live each day with expectation, not dread. Speak of my goodness to those around you. Let your later years be a testimony that hope is not bound to age, but to faith. Be a wellspring to others, pointing them to the same river that sustains you. I am not finished with you. If you are still breathing, I am still moving in your life. Do not let despair silence your prayers. Do not let sorrow steal your worship. Do not let fear choke your hope. The river is flowing. Step into it daily. Drink deeply. Be renewed. And when at last your journey on this earth is complete, you will not step into emptiness. You will step into the widest, deepest part of the river, the eternal waters of life that flow from my throne. There, hope will no longer be something you cling to by faith. It will be sight. It will be reality. It will be forever. Until that day, I whisper to you again, you are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, and you are not at the end. You are standing beside a river that flows endlessly, carrying you forward into more of my goodness, more of my peace, more of my joy.